right, Chicago, you got what you wanted. Here we go.
Your hustle got to be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.
All right, afternoon, guys. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon up here in Minnesota. Currently on my way to Kansas. Wanted to hop on here. This is in a little bit of follow-up to the video the other day. Is expediting worth it? Which was for the most part a reaction video to another video about is expediting worth it. Now, he just put out another video concerning a little bit of feedback on mine, and you know, Chicago loves to twist stuff. I love how he likes to position statements and opinions to fit what he wants to try to spin to you, but it's nothing negative. This is all in fun. This is all no big deal. This ain't no drama, no BS. I just want everybody to be clear on that. This ain't nothing where he's mad at me, I'm mad at him. There's some drama. It's just simply easiest to turn this video on, turn this camera on, make a video, post it, let everybody kind of get involved in these conversations. And again, it's helping people see different perspectives of what's going on out here on the road. So, watching his reaction to mine, first off, he stated that I took I said his video was a negative spin. I said that's how I felt that it was spun. Now again, that could be my own personal bias on how I took it. So it's not to say that it was negative. Somebody else might have seen it and was like, oh, this is some good information. Good, solid, objective information. So just wanted to clarify that so we can kind of see everything else that's being said after this point as coming from a objective point of view about things. He gets into how, he's trying to compare once again the basis of all this conversation is 1099 position versus a W-2 position. That's basically the gist of what this is about. And the one thing that is not really specified in it all, and it's allowing too wide of a range of W-2 options to be considered to compare to the 1099, whereas that's not a fair assessment because, in a 1099 world, depending, specifically this industry, okay, for expediting or the transportation industry in general, you're not going to get a lot of people that's got a bachelor's degree or a master's or a doctorate or anything like that. You're not getting that class of people or level or education level, however you want to classify that. You're not getting that type of person that's going to be doing this. Not to say there is none, but I'm just saying, in general, for the most part, that's not what this industry is filled with. We are filled with a lot of people that are low education, low skill level, and that it's an easy job, it's an easy field to get into. So that's what we are mostly, it's what we're mostly populated with. Now, with that being said, that's going to change the W-2 position that these people have the ability to get, myself included. Mind you, now I've always had a desire to do this, but at the same time, this works for me best because of my record, because of I have no trade, I have no degree, as far as college degrees. I don't have a lot to offer in the corporate W-2 world. So with that being said, this fits me. This type of 1099 position is, pretty much you got to categorize and compare that level and that group of people, because there's not very many people, for the most part, that's in this industry that's going to go get a W-2 position that's going to offer all this room for this major advancement. Me personally, I end up with just the one van I drive myself. I'm around mid-60s, between 65 and 70,000. I think my net came up to like 67,000, somewhere in that neighborhood, just this van. It's not including the fact that I have a couple other vans, and so I'm bringing in another, I'm adding to my income from that avenue as well due to this 1099 in, job in this industry. So based on just that, there's not many places I'm going to go. I mean, I can't think of anything that I could go and somebody's going to take me on to where I could advance to the point that I can make 60,000 plus in a year. And, as far as the vacation and things, yes, I can take the time off. I mean, if I'm managing my money correctly and doing all the things that I need to do, I can take vacation time. I did take a couple of weeks off last year at one point just to go, on vacation during the summer. I take 2 weeks off at Thanksgiving. I take 2 weeks off at Christmas and New Year's, and sometimes 3 weeks. So I get my time off. And, he also talks about comparing the hours. There's no doubt. There's no arguing it. There's no debate to it. Like, if you want to count for every hour I spend away from home and you want to do an hourly wage, it's not worth it. I've said it in prior videos too. Like, to compare this by the hour for an hourly wage, no comparison. None whatsoever. Now, compare it to your mental state, your happiness, your emotional state, all of those types of things. Like, then again, I feel there's no comparison. That 1099 wins that hands down every time to a W-2. So the value in a 1099 position, which is what many people that are in a 1099 position, many entrepreneurs are chasing after. They're looking for that happiness more than they're looking for money. Of course, everybody needs money, so money is definitely always going to be in the equation. But most entrepreneurs are after that independence, that doing something on their own, doing it at their own pace, their own way. That's the value added to a 1099 position that you'll never get at a W-2. You'll never get that. You'll never get that freedom. You're always going to be at the mercy of somebody else above you, when in this position you can't. So that's something that is you'll never be able to compare. In his video, his most recent video that I seen today, you go to about the 16-minute mark, he kind of does a mic drop moment for my side of the discussion, which is doing this job. When I'm doing it, it's not like work, not at all. So that is the bottom line. But again, if the entire point of the discussion is trying to compare an hourly wage, then correct. Like I said earlier, there's no comparison. W-2 you will earn more per hour. But at its simplest form, no matter what, you can break either one down and make them, seem as negative as possible. In a W-2 position, if you are going to remotely earn near what I earn currently, you're more than likely going to end up being in a salaried position when you start making more money and get more responsibilities. In the areas where I or others like me, as said, which mostly makes up this industry, you're going to be in food service, you're going to be in manufacturing, warehousing, assembly lines, food, fast food, just things like sales. So aside from being somebody who works at the clerk, works at the counter, somebody that's on the assembly lines, when you move up, those positions sometimes turn into salaries. So then at that point, again, if you want to try to really break things down in a W-2 position, you're on call 24/7 when you start taking on more responsibilities and you get those advancements. If you're a manager or a general manager at a food service, at a restaurant or something, or a fast food joint or a pizza shop, you're on call. You have a lot of responsibilities. Your job, you're never really off the job. So at that point, do we break that down hourly? Because you're always on the clock technically. Like, no matter what you do, unless you put in for your, quote, vacation time, and you are totally off the clock at that point. No responsibilities are on your shoulders while you're on your vacation. Aside from that, you're really on the clock, like 24/7. And so, do we break that down? Because in a salaried position, or in a position that you're going to advance into, supervisory, managerial, you're responsible for now employees as far as scheduling, covering shifts. Problem happens with the machine, or some kind of issue with the customer. Like, you're going to be the one that's going to get the call, at the end of the day. And so, like I said, you can break each one down and really hit them negatively, but the bottom line, it comes down to that, what kind of pleasure do you get out of your job? And as he stated, even, the job itself, it's not like work. I mean, that's what it is to me. No matter how many hours I put in, and no matter the fact that I'm always, putting myself in a position to take that next load, I'm happy. I enjoy it. I'm okay with that. That's my life. Just like you have some people that are workaholics, and you see them working a grunt job that you or me may look at and be like, God dang, man, how the hell are you working all them hours doing that kind of work? But to them, it's enjoyable. So there's always added value by the different aspects of the type of work you're doing. So that's what it comes down to. And again, I want people to see, the negative side of things, or somebody with a negative opinion of it, or somebody with a that's just being objective and putting the information out there, the negative and the positive. Like, listen to all of it. Listen to everybody's opinion, because maybe something that somebody is telling you clicks a little differently from a certain perspective and helps you out. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to 1099 versus W-2, one of the most common things I see as to why people would prefer a W-2 over this type of job is stability, consistency, and stability. And those are the first two on the list. Third would probably be lack of work ethic, because it does take, and maybe it's not work ethic, but dedication, I guess, commitment, because it does take a certain level of commitment and dedication to come out here and be on the road to make a living doing this type of job. So, not everybody's got that. Not everybody's willing to do that. I mean, everybody's got a different idea what they want to do. Some people just want to be able to go to work, clock in, put in their hours, go home, and at the end of the week, when payday comes, they pretty much got an idea of what it's going to be on payday. Whereas in a 1099, you're not 100% sure, even though you're out, so to speak, at work, you don't know, because based on, especially in this industry, based on the amount of loads that you get, is dependent on what your paycheck is going to be. So your paycheck can fluctuate, and some people don't like that. Whereas with me, I have the commitment and the desire to do everything I can to get every single load I can get, because while I'm out here, I'm trying to make the most of it. I'm trying to maximize it. Whereas others, they don't. So it doesn't, again, we've talked about it before, that's where it's not going to equate monetarily to them as it would for me, the same as it does for me. But the stability, that's really a big thing. When I talk with people that are looking to come out here, and they're just like right there, man. They want to make that move, but they're just not sure. And it's the unknown. And I get that. I still deal with that. I've dealt with that in this industry as far as, with what I do. When I changed from the last carrier I was at to this one, I was there for 5 years. I was comfortable. I knew what I was getting with them year in and year out. With Barrett, before I made that move, I got as much information as I could, but the last bit of information that I needed, that I was going to have was actually doing it. And it's a little, there's some fear in there. There's some, you're a little concerned that you're going to make this move and it's not going to work out, and you're going to lose what you have, and then it's going to cause you to be in a bad situation. Then you got to double back and try to get back where you was. So I get it, but I made the move. It worked out. So I understand, the desire to have stability and consistency and whatnot. So I get it. But, you know, depends on what you want out of your job. You know, if it's money only, and I've said it time and time again, if your only desire to come out here is for the money, do not do it. Because this job is not about just trying to put in, you know, your time and get money. You're not going to be adequately compensated money-wise for everything that comes with this job. You know, as I said before, I agree on that point. But if all the freedoms and the amount of room you have to what do I want to say, grow and climb, as I said, you can't match it, you know, to a 1099 position, no matter what it is. Like I said, being an entrepreneur. But again, you know, stability, commitment, consistency. It's like you have drivers out here that drive for a fleet owner for years. They don't have any desire to get their own van. They just don't want that responsibility. They don't want that worry. They just don't want it. They'd rather just be responsible for taking a load when it's put on them and doing what they want to do in between. So I get it. Not everybody's got the same goals, plans, ideas. They don't get the same joy out of things. Like I said, there's people that come out here and want to go do all these things while they're down. That doesn't thrill me. It just doesn't. Like, to do things by myself, I mean, I have zero interest. Like, zero. I mean, I've got more interest in doing things, whether it be talking with somebody on the phone or watch a movie, grab some sleep, or, you know, doing something as far as crunching some numbers, things like that, watching YouTube videos, informational videos, just whatever. I mean, that's more enjoyable to me. I mean, I'm selectively social, so this job, this lifestyle fits me perfect. In the comment section, though, let me know if you are currently in this industry. You know, do you feel like it's worth it being out here, or did you enjoy your previous gig in the W-2 world? And if you are looking to get into this industry and you've been researching, what's holding you up? Is there a fear of the unknown to come out here and leave your stable and predictable situation? Just give me some feedback down there, man. I'd be interested to see what kind of perspectives everybody's coming from with this. I can say for mine, like I said, the last job I had working at a pizza shop, man. Like, and it took forever just to get that job. You know, so I don't know what kind of job you guys that are not in this industry but are looking into it have currently or have had, or if you're in between jobs, what your last job was. You know, let me know that. Let me know what your last job was. Let me know what type of work you've always done. You know, and this ain't about trying to put it out there like, oh, I made so much money, I've done all this. I just, you know, I'm not asking because I'm concerned about trying to put you out there financially or you know, choices in life. I'm just curious, like, as I said, because mine worked at a pizza shop, man, for 2 years. I worked there. I could have been a GM there, but to be honest, it's one of those things where you was on salary and the money wasn't that much above what I was making as a delivery driver. So I never tried to advance at that point. And fortunately, this job landed in my lap, so to speak. You know, I mean, I did a lot to make it happen, but I mean, it just happened by accident, finding the expediting, you know, hauling freight in a van. It was totally by accident. Yeah, like some feedback, man. I'm gonna get off here, man. I'm done rambling because I'm just